To exclude Huawei from its 5G network on security grounds. The UK has faced strong pressure from the United States to ban the tech firm, while Washington has also announced new sanctions on Huawei employees.
Our desire to communicate, to have instant information, to be connected at all times, to watch and listen to whatever we want, seems to know no bounds. And the next stage of that revolution, 5G, with the Chinese telecoms company Huawei a key element in this, is ready to go. But technology has just crashed headlong into politics. Britain, under pressure from the US, is cutting Huawei out of the picture. And Donald Trump last night was on a victory lap.
We confronted untrustworthy Chinese technology and telecom providers. We convinced many countries, and I did this myself for the most part, not to use Huawei because we think it's an unsafe security risk. It's a big security risk. I talked many countries out of using it. If they want to do business with us, they can't use it. Just today, I believe that UK announced that they're not going to be using it. And that was up in the air for a long time, but they've decided. And
the days when Donald Trump boasted about the greatness of his relationship with President Xi seem from a different age. He was asked last night whether the two men would be talking soon.
No, I haven't spoken to him. Well, no, I don't. I have no plan to speak to him.
But Beijing is furious that, to use a Chinese word, Britain has kowtowed to American demands. And they're letting it be known in no uncertain terms that this won't be a consequence-free decision.
In the end, this is a big world, and the UK is only a small part of it. Ultimately, this ban won't stop Huawei from prospering. I've also stressed that China will fully and seriously evaluate this incident and take all necessary measures to protect the proper, legitimate rights of Chinese companies.
The downward spiral in relations between the US and China was underlined today, with America imposing visa restrictions on Huawei employees entering the US. Make no mistake, Washington is on a mission.
The UK joins the United States and now many other democracies in becoming clean countries, nations free of untrusted 5G vendors.
Britain has made its move under pressure from America. China is considering retaliation. These things can very quickly escalate.
Prominent Twitter accounts, including those of former US President Barack Obama and Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden, have been hacked in an apparent Bitcoin scam. Billionaires Elon Musk and Bill Gates, as well as tech companies Apple and Uber, are also affected. As part of the scam, fake tweets were posted asking people to send donations of the cryptocurrency Bitcoin in the hope of doubling their money. Waves of more than 11.5 metres have been recorded off Sydney with hazardous surf conditions along the east coast. Reporter Cecilia Connell joins us now from Manly. Cecilia, geez, it doesn't look very bad behind you there. It looks pretty flat.
We're here at Ferry Bower, but we've just been further up the beach and there are some massive waves. I tell you what, there's been a few snapboards on Sydney beaches this morning, that's for sure, with some waves over 11 metres recorded just offshore this morning. Further around the coast, waves of over 9 metres or so recorded at Coffs Harbour, Batemans Bay and Crowdy Head. It's prompted a hazardous surf warning along the entire New South Wales coast today, but that definitely hasn't deterred surfers this morning. Here's a little of what they had to say.
We've got a big pressure off the coast, which you can see coming in here, and it's just absolutely pumping. You got to figure out how to get out there first. It took us ages to get out, and then you just got to really commit to them when you paddle into them, otherwise you get ruined.
That's exactly right. It's big, it's scary, it's good though, it's a rush. It's what you live for, to be honest. Like, you have a job, you work, you earn some money, that's pretty good, but if you take off on a 6 to 8 foot wave like that, oh, I keep coming back every day. Just for that. I drove all the way from Newcastle just to surf this swell. It's unreal.
4 to 6 foot, pumping, west winds, can't get much better. It's probably a few better ones out at Deadman's. Been some pretty good footage out there from the past few days. But yeah, can't complain.
Yeah, I have seen some really good shots from Deadmans, and I think we can run some of that footage now of the decent-sized surf there. And Cecilia, yeah, we were talking to you yesterday because there was a guy who they thought had gone missing at Coogee. The good news is he kind of walked in somewhere and he was fine. He just kind of walked off a different part of the beach. So what's expected for the rest of today in terms of these swells?
Well, the east coast low is expected to weaken leading into the end of the week and move towards the east, leading to an easing of conditions. But in the meantime, some hazardous conditions still sticking about, with the Manly ferry cancelled, with buses replacing those ferry services today. And of course, some concerns about coastal erosion, particularly around Newcastle and the central coast areas. But that east coast low expected to ease over the next day or so.
OK, Cecilia Connell reporting there from Sydney. And time now for Check of the Weather, and it's very